In this episode, I'll be discussing about the price action of Bitcoin. Since I think a couple of days, Bitcoin has started retracing. I think for 8 consecutive weeks, Bitcoin kept on pumping. And if I look at the current heat map of crypto, you guys can clearly see that all the cryptos are starting to retrace. And this retracement was quite necessary too because the move was very impulsive. Now, if I take you guys to the chart of Bitcoin, you guys can clearly see that, we kept on moving up, and at the same time, the consolidation was not big here. This was a fair away, I would say a fair enough consolidation, but at the same time, you guys can clearly see that the trend was starting to fade away with some impulsive moves out here, and then it came here. So as far as I think, until and unless Bitcoin starts to mitigate those levels out, which has created inefficiencies in the past, it's more important for Bitcoin to do that first and then start a new impulsive wave or a bullish wave, I would say. If I look at the current chart of Bitcoin and if I want to just point out some good point of interest or demand zones, then I would seriously consider $38,000 to $39,000 to be the first pocket. I've even drawn, two paths when it comes to Bitcoin. This is what I personally expect out of Bitcoin. I just expect Bitcoin in the first path to move back, take a step here, and by mitigating the price here, Bitcoin might simply just create another bullish wave because once it starts to keep going down, if we see big candles, impulsive candles, or a flash big candles, no matter however the candle is, we might wait here. If not here, we might come down to this zone as well. My first point of interest is $38,000, where I expect a small retracement form. Again, we will be retrace a little, and post that we might see a new high, or we might just start to consolidate here. So overall, from a retracement perspective, you guys need to understand that it is more important. Why? Because if you guys are here to make money or to do whatever you guys really want, however the sole outcome is making money, you guys need to understand that the trend needs to be very I would say healthy as well. So if the trend is not healthy, and if you see something which is moving up like this without any retracement, with just small retracements around, then it's quite sure and inevitable that you will just see a flash crash like this, and you will just miss out all of the gains which you've made. So there's no point of leaking gains like that. And I've always said that kindly understand that you guys need to keep your entries conservative too. Try keeping your entries conservative. So this was the first path. Out of this, we might even see the fact that Bitcoin is just coming here, I think, to the zone of 40,000 or 40,500, which I think it has mitigated today. It went to 40,500 again. And maybe again from here, we might see Bitcoin retracing 44,000 once again. And post that, we might see an impulsive drop to the downside or Bitcoin's price action being bearish. So this is all about Bitcoin. Now, what can you guys do when it comes to accumulating Bitcoin, and where can you guys even think about accumulating it? Because these are some drawn probabilities which might play out or which might not even play out. So if I look at the current price action, you guys need to understand your first point of interest. According to me, in my opinion, you guys can start accumulating or maybe accumulate 30% of your whole crypto bag over here. So if you are having 100K with you, try understanding the fact that you can expect, or you can try bagging up 30% of altcoins, or maybe Bitcoin over here. The rest 70 to maybe 50% can be accumulated from the zone of $30,000 to $33,000. I think this can be the whole origin place where the impulsive move had started from, and Bitcoin has been rejected from the same zone as well. So this can act as a very good demand zone, and at the same time, this happens to be the origin too. So if you guys see anything, or if you guys see the price action of Bitcoin falling back here and retracing or mitigating this, is going to be a very strong point of interest for you guys to accumulate Bitcoin. So $30,000 to $33,000 can be the zone where you guys can accumulate or maybe invest a big chunk of your own investment. Right now, I would just want you guys, or in my opinion, you guys can maybe sit cash, or 70 to 80% cash sitting would be better, rather than investing here and then witnessing a move which is just going to the downside. So do not do that. I think the volume is going to be low as well in the last 2 weeks of December. So try correlating. Your trading activity should be reduced here. So the first point over here is that your trading activity should be reduced. So I'll just try to make you guys understand what you guys need to exactly do. The first point is take cash. The second point is try understanding your trading activity should be reduced and your exposure should be, less. So try reducing your trading activity. So once you try doing this, you'll see that even if you're not making gains, you guys are at least wrapping up or maybe saving some gains. Even if you guys are sitting cash, you're waiting for the market to present you an opportunity. So you guys will be staying cash. You guys can maybe think about doing so. Trading activity should be reduced. Your exposure to altcoins currently in this current scenario should be less. So exposure to alts should be less as well. These are some points which you guys can probably think about. These 3 points will help you not only in making becoming a profitable trader, but at the same time, capital preservation is the holy grail of trading. If you guys cannot preserve your capital, then I don't think you will be able to sustain for a long time, especially in crypto, where the stop losses are quite wide. So try understanding things objectively and practically instead of just finding someone who's saying Bitcoin is bullish, you just keep buying Bitcoin and the whole Twitter, I would say, and you can just keep buying. Try understanding the mechanism of how the price is behaving and what action is the price suggesting. Without that, you'll just be having a tough time, and I do not want anyone to go through a tough time like that, because it will only land you up in a position where you have less capital, and then you start to realize that, oh, I made a mistake here of not waiting. I think patience plays out, and it plays out in the right way. Even if market moves up from here, you have nothing to lose except for the move which you've left. But try understanding. By trying to chase that 5 or 10% move, you're almost risking 20 or 30%. The downside possibility is quite high. Try understanding this, try correlating these three factors, and just try to understand the price action of Bitcoin, the expansion of Bitcoin on a weekly time frame. From a weekly time frame, if I try to make you guys understand the fact, just look at how big and impulsive the move has been for Bitcoin. So you guys can clearly see that the move was very impulsive, and I think we were up for 8 weeks straight. It's quite fine if we retrace your back and then if we see a impulsive move. Let's look at what Bitcoin has done in the past when it was making these impulsive moves. You see, Bitcoin kept moving up, gave a 3 weeks retracement, and then it made a very new high. This is the same thing which I am talking about. You see, big moves here, small retracements or small retracement, another huge impulsive move, and then for 2 weeks we kept on retracing. This is all. If you guys see the same thing here, I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. You guys can clearly see that this was anyways a rejection, and this was a huge supply to where we saw the origin of this whole bearish move. So 48,000 is going to be a very crucial level for Bitcoin. And understand the fact this retracement is healthy and not bearish. Now don't start shorting Bitcoin like anything once you see Bitcoin coming here. No, wait for the price action to formulate in the right way and try understanding what the fundamentals are in the world markets too. We've got the FOMC coming in today. So if, in my opinion, the Fed is not going to raise rates. If it does, it's going to be very bearish. If the Fed is keeping the rates flat or not raising it, I think it's going to be a normal reaction. Why? Because the market has already factored in this. The third scenario, which happens to be a very bullish scenario, is if we see Fed's cutting rate. So I don't see Fed will start cutting rates until and unless the inflation is tamed down to 2%. Currently, it is sitting at 3.1%. So I don't think that's going to happen until next year, maybe. Okay. So for this year, I would say for the last month of December, I am not expecting any rate cuts. If we see, then it's going to be very bullish. Apart from that, I don't think anything else is going to, hamper or torment the price action of Bitcoin if we see a new FUD coming in. So if we see a new FUD coming in, you guys can be, or you guys need to be prepared for something very impulsive. However, if you do not see anything like that, you guys can simply wait it out and wait for the price action to formulate in the right way. Like I said, stay cash, keep your exposure less. The trading activity and the trading volume is going to be reduced, and do not follow these you know, unbiased, or I would say biased people who's just gonna ask you to buy something or the other which is hyped up. Do not do that. Do not get that FOMO in, or that fear of missing out on this position or that position or this move. Do not do that. I'll see you guys in the next video where I'll be posting a lot of altcoins which you guys can probably look for. You guys can keep those altcoins on your radar. And I'm going to mention some important zones or some important origins which will also help you guys in understanding the fact that fine, I can just keep this mark even if I do not want to buy. I can, check this out how the price action moves from here. That's it for today's update. I'll see you guys in the next video.